So this is a podcast, so it's okay to talk about donuts or whatever because it's conversational. Um, so
Is
there's
this
that.
going in the podcast? Is this going to be like your opening blurb? Is us?
It could be
talking
the
about
it
donuts?
could be the intro. Yeah, the hot intro. That could be. Would that be terrible?
Yeah, that'd be the hook. No, I think it's great.
Or would it just be the meta, like rather than the donut conversation being the hot intro? The intro would be you going, is this going into the intro? And I can say yes, it is. So it could just be the meta intro.
Yeah, this is you can get the soundbite. Are we recording? Is this
We
live?
are recording. The website's super slow at the moment.
Is it super slow? Let's see. There we go. All right, cool.
Dang.
There we go. All right. Now we're official. I'll sit. Oh, hold on. There we go. Okay.
Are you ready?
All right. I'm as ready as I'm ever going to be. 1 second. Is this too much? Okay. Go.
Hi, Talia.
You're not allowed to put this in the recording, by the way. My legal team, Ryan Compton, will come after you.
It's not. This did make the is the rider? Isn't that it? Like when
Oh yeah,
bands
my
come
rider.
into town and you have like the green M&Ms only, or
Yeah, that's
this didn't make the rider.
Yeah, it totally didn't.
This can be super interesting too.
I'm so excited.
I know. All right. So the other formulaic part of the start, besides the cold open or hot open or whatever the hell it is you got to say who the person is. So I try not to say like, this is Talia Pakkala and she is the director of events and sponsorship for Audi Club North America, just because it gets redundant or it's less conversational. Not redundant.
Okay. So how do you want to go about
So
it?
usually it's just like, Talia Pakkala, how are you?
I'm okay.
That's great. How's the weather? Should we talk about the weather?
Oh, it's actually really nice today. It's very nice. My backyard looks great. I've got, all kinds of perennials flourishing. It's wonderful. It's really beautiful over here.
We just lost half our viewers. Thanks.
Oh, wow. Okay. That didn't tell me anything about myself though. Is that what you wanted or what do you, I don't know.
Well, I know who you are, but that's the other weird part about these conversations is like,
okay.
So we have to subtly introduce you to the audience without me saying, like acting like I don't know you and be like, oh, tell me more about being the director of events and sponsorship, even though I literally helped write the job description. Go.
Yeah, let me explain this to you. I don't know how intimately involved you are in this part of the business, George, but I work for you actually. I'm the director of events and sponsorship. Yeah, I mean, all those events you go to, when you book your hotels at the last minute, when you blow out budget on hotel flights, things of that nature, that's me. I get to manage that and find a way to sneak it in and make sure that we're all good. I also, sell sponsorship for you. So, magazine.
That's great.
And then website, events, the whole nine. I do the full spectrum. Oh, and then unrelated to my job description, I do all the accounting, budget management, fun things like that. So really jack of all trades over here.
Love it. All right. So we are here today to talk about events. So in particular, what you have behind you, VintageToVoltage. Yeah. We got something coming up.
Yeah, very exciting. Actually a brainchild of yours personally. Tell
me more about it. Do you mind if I jump into this? I don't want to crowd you out as like
space,
but I'm really excited.
No, believe me, I will tell you my side of it and then you can jump in. So for me, it was a nice Monday. I'm just trying to dig through 50 emails in my inbox of people asking me which way and the other, just my day is just always crazy. And I get a text from my boss that says, hey, do you have 5 minutes? And I'm like, I clear out an hour and a boondoggle was born.
I mean, just another day, man. It's just another day. Whether it's the emails or the boondoggle. So VintageToVoltage, the idea is we had a call with Audi a couple of weeks ago, and this kind of whole bridging of the kind of where the brand started and what what it's been standing for from the very beginning of technique, right? Like progress or advancement through technology, like starts with, I mean, hell, you could go way back to like pre-war and mid-engines. You could do, V16 and forced induction, or you could get to quattro in the 80s, whatever. But you get to today, which is where things are kind of turning electric. And so trying to do something that bridges the old to the new. So the idea here is a couple things. One is to do something of that nature, and the other is to do something that's scalable and replicable. So we're doing it here in Philadelphia because it's near me. Thanks for traveling in.
Listen, my Sky Mile status is excited.
Yeah, well, there's that. But so we'll do this one here, and then if other chapters want to do something similar, hopefully they feel inspired or see that it was a cool event, and we have a formula they can follow to whatever level of craziness they want to do. So let's do the basics first on this event. So it's next week. So apologies to people who are like, wow, it would have been nice to like plan this 3 months ago. I'm sure you're in right there with them, but like, yeah, that would have been nice to plan this 3 months ago.
I mean, we did start planning it 3 months ago, arguably. We just had a lot of changes and then potential cancellation before, literally last, maybe 2 weeks ago now, being told that, yep, green light, let's go. So there's been a lot of jump around.
Yeah. Part of this was looking for like support and from some different players, et cetera. And part of it was trying to hit Radwood Philly weekend, which is why it's in 2 weeks, right? So Radwood is not an event we put on. We're going to make that part of it, but we can't move that one around, right? That's Haggerty and the Radwood folks and whatever. Yeah, we're jamming, man. But like the other reason is, so we're recording this today on like what's today, Wednesday? It's moving 2 pounds. And I think our hotel block or rate expires Friday.
Yep, I think we got an extension on that through Friday the 13th at 5 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to get into that hotel, definitely do it.
In the meantime, this is very last minute. Apologies, but like I'm going to have this turned around probably by, the podcast should be live by Thursday. So you will still have.
Is it necessary to tell them when the podcast is going to be live if they're listening to the podcast?
So they know if they listen to this when it came live. Let's give the dates, because like Thursdays mean jack, because they come every 7 days.
It's true.
So today's the 11th of May. We'll have it live on the 12th of May, and it's coming in hot. So like the rate, at least for the hotel, you can still sign up for VintageToVoltage, but the rate for the hotel expires at the end of the day on Friday the 13th. So
sorry.
Yeah. You believe in luck? Do you believe in luck, Talia?
Well, it's a loaded question. Yes and no. I'm pretty damn lucky, but am I lucky because I was pure luck, or because I made good choices that got me into really lucky positions? Both. It's a really meta discussion about luck at the end of this call, if you like to hang on.
Yeah, we'll do that in the after in the podcast after the close. So VintageToVoltage is going to be the week. So what are the dates?
We're going to be doing stuff from May 20th through 22nd, all day Friday, all day Saturday, and then Sunday morning we're doing a Quattros and coffee at Simeone Auto Museum.
I'm going to share the website.
You share that website.
Can you see that?
Yep.
And then we'll go to the VintageToVoltage.
By the way, I got my little Opel rental car in Ingolstadt. Right.
Oh man,
stop.
You're killing me. Stop.
I can't get it. Whatever. Anyway, I was driving down the road and a tactical green RS e-tron GT blew my doors down. I didn't even get a chance to take a photo. And I'm gonna tell you what, I really thought tactical was like a baby shit yellow, really not a cute color. It's not a good color in the light, but on a cloudy day, it looks absolutely
good.
Banging. Yeah, that's a rainy day car. If I had to get a car in tactical green, I would only drive it on cloudy, rainy days.
On rainy days.
Yep. But it looks so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to have one of those. And if Quattro is not the one, then what would it be?
No, I don't know. So he posted your they don't do a rear-wheel drive version yet, like the Taycan, so it's got to be Quattro.
Yeah.
The so you're on what, the A9 on the Autobahn when that guy passes you?
No, I don't know. I don't think it was that, but it was just there was like a no speed limit section,
right?
And he just blew past me, and I went to like go grab my phone, and I was like, he's too gone. So
IN plates. Did you look at the plates? The Ingolstadt.
I did not look at the plates. No, I just saw it was an RS and I was like, that's tactical green. That's a good looking color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It's Mark
Yeah.
Lichty's favorite color. At least it was a few months ago, I'm sure.
Well, I'll tell you what, I told Daniel to go look it up and Daniel likes tactical green. He's like, that's a good color. I'm like, really? So you like tactical?
He doesn't like
You
Goodwood.
don't, but you don't like Goodwood. I don't understand. Oh, and then he tried to convince me today. He goes, okay, what if we traded in the RS3 and the A3 and we got an RS6 and a Bronco? And I was like, okay. I mean, I don't know. Other alternative, he keeps the RS3, I get the Q7. So he's just trying to get the Q7.
Which car does he drive?
We don't really drive either.
Because you both work at home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because
I was like, if you're dailying one, it's the Bronco. That's what you're driving. Enjoy.
Right. Well, that's what I would be like. If the RS6 is mine and the Bronco is yours, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm just like, I don't know. I'm really torn now because that's a really.
Did you see?
Powerful.
We're totally diverging here, but did you see? How do I pronounce his name? Klaus Corsica. I'm totally butchered his name. I'm sure the head of design for Volkswagen Group. Okay. Posted on his Instagram this morning the International Scout. Volkswagen, if you don't know, owns International.
What is that?
You don't know what an International Scout is?
No.
Oh, you're killing me.
Oh my gosh. Listen, don't just be dropping lingo like
on the share screen.
Oh, the vehicle, the International Harvester Scout.
Yes.
Wow, that literally is like a little Bronco.
Yeah. So
are they looking at doing an EV version?
Yes.
That's hilarious.
So like that's a really small photo. But yeah, that's the International Scout. And so let's see here. Instagram.
Did you just search?
I did the wrong. Thanks for pointing that out. It was going to be all smooth and nobody was going to notice. And then you were like, oh.
Wow, George, did you just Google search Instagram?
I didn't know where to find it. I wasn't sure the URL. Oh, did he take it down?
No.
Oh man, he took it down.
Now, did you sneak in and see it before it got removed?
It down.
Oof.
Well, so here's the thing. How could they say no? The Volkswagen Group is considering, they own the International Harvester brand, and they're considering doing an EV brand, sort of like Rivian. And they're apparently discussing it at the board level today. And since it's Germany, they're 6 hours ahead. I thought maybe they already discussed it, especially when I saw Klaus put it up on Instagram.
Right.
So
apparently not. He's just getting himself in a sticky wicket.
Yeah. So anyway, there you get the International made by Volkswagen Group.
There we go. And it's basically
and do
the
your
same
EV thing. And
Listen,
you have your RS6 in
as long the deciding factor is going to be the discount they give us, because I don't think Volkswagen is going to give us wholesale on an International.
I don't think Volkswagen's giving you wholesale on an RS6 either. So
no, but the Bronco is wholesale, so that's why he's like.
Oh right, yeah.
Anyway,
Broncos are cool.
Yeah, I mean they're really cool. If I can have an RS6 in the garage, that's fine. I just think it's kind of silly. I'm like, okay, how are you comparing an RS3 that's almost paid off and a Q7 that's 50 grand to buying two brand new cars, one of which is 100 grand? Like, it's
RS6, Talia. You don't argue with it. You just it's why he's a keeper. It's why you married him. Let him get the RS6, and you're good.
That's true. That tribute edition, by the way, sold finally. We were gonna go. We were trying to find it last night. It's gone.
Tribute.
Yeah, there was a tribute that we found that has been sitting at the dealership for like 6 months.
A Nagi RS6?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they knew it was a tribute though. They had marked it up like 30, 50 grand or something crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like 170, 180. So they knew what they had, but it had been sitting for a while. So I was like, let's go swindle them into selling it to us. Because that's a car that like you're going to hang on to. That's a collector.
Sure.
You don't think?
You
don't think tribute, you don't think when EVs take over the world and IC is no longer a thing, that like the RS2 and the RS6 aren't going to be like collector cars?
They may be. The problem with me and mine is that like I'm putting too many miles on it and it's going to bite me in depreciation.
No, I'm not talking about you and yours. I'm talking about them in general.
Yeah, maybe. But like my theory is I'm going to hold on to mine to like 25, 30,000 miles. And then I'm going to trade it on some weird exclusive when the facelift comes out, perhaps.
You think there's gonna be a facelift? That's funny. Okay.
There is.
Hit me up
There
before
is.
you sell it.
Okay.
I'm serious.
I'm gonna want redonkulous money.
Don't be a dick.
I'm not gonna give it away. You
Yeah,
understand that, right?
I would not expect you to give it away, but yes, I totally would want the opportunity to buy it though. I'm serious.
I make a good wood, so with the facelift, just saying.
Love that. Okay, anyway,
Right.
so we're you gonna share your screen?
Yes. Like now we definitely lost most of the audience at this point. All right. So here's the website, just the blog post we made about the event. So first of all, they can register on Motorsport Reg.
Yep. Registration's on Motorsport Reg. It is live, and then we also have a link to our Sonesta. It's in the Rittenhouse Square.
All on here, right? So there's the link to event registration, event to the hotel block registration. First of all, with the event, you don't have to stay at the hotel. You can, I think you've set it up so you can register for just single days, correct?
Yep. Yeah. So if, a lot of you obviously are going to be local. So if you are close enough that you just would rather drive each day from your house, you can register for Friday by itself or Saturday, Sundays by themselves. But again, if you're, coming a little bit further, you just want to be kind of a part of the afterlife that happens after dinners. We will all be congregating at the Sonesta. And it's a gorgeous hotel. Rittenhouse Square is really cool. So there's a lot of things to walk to and hang out at. So even if, Friday you get off work late and you miss dinner with us, there's a ton of cool stuff local that you can kind of go exploring and see nearby.
It does not like.
What are you doing?
I don't know, Talia. I don't know.
If you press, if you hold down the command key and you click on something, it will right click.
Okay. It just opens it new.
Yeah, well, that's what you were doing, but you had to right click and click open a new tab. So just giving you a faster solution. That's all. Efficiency.
This is what. Yeah. All right. So Sonesta is cool. It's downtown. It's in Rittenhouse. For those who don't know Philly, that's downtown, walkable to a lot of things, whether it's to the pier.
I mean, depending on how far you want to walk, Penn's Landing, which is where the pier is, it's about a 40-minute walk. Now, the other alternative here, which I will include,
2 miles.
It's 2 miles. Yeah. No. I mean, it's a good walk. It's good exercise. It's great if you're down for that. Alternatively, though, there's another option. Either A, you can drive your car downtown to the pier and park it. There's $15 parking near dinner. Alternatively, though, I'm going to look into this and I'll include this in registration packets, but they do have a tram stop right outside of the hotel. So if you want to just ride that, it's a 20-minute bus ride or train. I haven't actually looked into what it is, but it's one of those, and it's super short drive, and it'll take you straight to the pier as well. So that's also an option if you prefer to not walk 40 minutes.
So on this hotel, it's cool. It's downtown. You can walk to a lot of things. But what about my car, man? I don't want to park in a place where it's going to get damaged or towed or things like that.
Well, I was going to say, one of the things that was going to be a deal breaker for the Sonesta is that they require valet parking. And so I reached out and I said, hey, listen, the only reason we're going to pick with you is if you guys will offer us our own private parking. We have now secured our own private parking at $22 a night. So when you check into the hotel, they know what block you're a part of. They're going to be giving everybody little key cards. And what you'll do is you'll tab into the parking deck. It's the same parking deck where valet is, but obviously we're going to have our own access to it. So you guys don't have to worry about anybody parking your car. You don't have to worry about your car being parked outside. It's fully secure. And obviously, since it's part of the hotel, they have security there. So
I just say I love that you did that.
No, I mean, believe me, when you and I were going back and forth on this, we were looking at two different hotels. One of them was a cheaper nightly rate, which is what I was looking for, but it was further away from kind of where everything is at. And they also allowed self-parking. Yeah, and they allowed self-parking. So that was really the hard thing for me is self-parking is preferred, but not necessarily being by the airport. So we have gotten that secured for everybody. So you don't have to worry about your cars.
It's awesome. And it's a cool location. So being downtown Philly, look, here's the thing. Part of this is like, if you want to do one of these events as a car enthusiast, it's kind of hard to sell your significant other who may or may not be as into cars and wants to look at other things to do. So like being downtown Philly, we'll get through a lot of this. That theme is going to carry through. This is not about like constantly being in the car or being about cars if you don't want it to be, but like being in downtown Philly is another thing. You're not like stuck out by the airport, kind of like wondering where to go and not really knowing the area. Like you're in kind of the heart of Philly and you can kind of immerse as much as you want. And like I said, that's walkable to like Liberty Bell and like a lot of historic stuff downtown that you can do, Franklin Institute, whatever.
We'll create kind of a little, I'd like to do, we have some driving tours that you guys can obviously go on, but we're also going to include like a walking tour. So if on one of the days you don't want to join us for one of the events we have scheduled, we can have a little self-guided tour that you can go explore and kind of get a little bit more information about the rich history of Philadelphia.
Beyond that, the website, the kind of Pennsylvania logo, VintageToVoltage post on the blog that's at www.audiclubna.org is where we're going to update a lot of the information. So if you add that walking tour, we'll be adding dinners, though it may not be on there yet, like those dinners or that walking tour, it will be as we get closer to the event. So that's a good site to even keep checking out after you sign up.
Yep.
So you can sign up for days, but you want to be at the hotel because you can hang out with everybody else and have a good time. Day one, which will be Friday, we're going to start the day at Audi Wilmington, who is a very generous supporter of this event. So
yeah, we're excited about Audi Wilmington. They're hosting us for a kind of just donuts hangout on Friday morning for everyone to get checked in for registration, get your bags, and then obviously as well get some food.
Audi Wilmington in Wilmington, Delaware is about 20 miles down I-95 from Philadelphia. That's going to be where we our starting point for that day. They're a Magna Elite dealer. They're fantastic. They have like a driving sim in their showroom. They always have cool cars. They're just really cool folks. So seem like a really good place to start. And also it gets us down to where both of our Friday destinations begin. But also while we're in the city, so this is, most of these are located, affiliates, I don't know if it's an institution, but a place I've been meaning to check out, I haven't gotten there yet, is a place called Federal Donuts. These things, look, I'm showing them because they look amazing. Do you like a donut?
Oh my gosh, I love donuts. Are those peanut butter cups on that donut? That looks awesome.
I think it is. Look at these.
Oof.
Right, or hold on.
Yeah,
right
it's
there.
a heavy way to start my morning, but
yeah, so probably not the most healthy, but so Federal
but
Donuts,
the most satisfying.
Right. Well, Federal Donuts is a Philly kind of chain. I forget the name of the restaurateur who started it, but it's kind of high-end stuff. And when they're not making donuts, they're making like chicken sandwiches, kind of like for people who might be fans of chicken sandwich venues.
You say that like you don't like chicken sandwiches.
I do. I don't know if it's heresy for the people, because there are people who you know how like whether it's like people who are really into a particular brand, like say a car club, or like political nuts, like people who are really into like certain politicians or whatever, there are people who get into Chick-fil-A at a level that's like so I find you're either like car brands or politics or chicken restaurants. There are people who are like really, really into something.
Interesting. So you're coming for everyone south of like, maybe Tennessee, maybe even Virginia. I don't know what they got going on with Chick-fil-A, but like you are coming for literally a giant population of people. And how dare you, George?
Yeah, I might be. It's not that I'm coming for them. It's that I don't get it.
I'm just saying, it's great service. You always leave with a smile, and they're delicious. So
who knew
consistency.
Who knew they had a location in Miami? But Talia, look at this.
That looks delicious. Also,
right.
Is that a giant pickle?
It is.
It's a bit foul.
It's probably like it's probably like a homemade pickle, unique to this particular restaurant.
They homemade pickle. I love it.
Versus like the Heinz like industrial size pickle that is probably bought by like.
I bet it's very gourmet, fresh farm to table. It looks awesome though. I will tell you that.
Right.
And you know what? I like the packaging. It very much screams Chick-fil-A. I'm about this. Now it looks like Chick-fil-A sauce. Yeah, I'm digging it. This whole thing looks great.
So like, what I don't want to do though is offend people who are like Chick-fil-A enthusiasts. Where they're
so is that why you went out of your way to just drag
to call out people who might be unhealthily into Chick-fil-A?
Yes, yeah. Is that why you did that?
I might have been. All right, that's Federal Donuts. We will not have their chicken products at the donut and coffee gathering at Audi Wilmington. But upside, they're downtown Philly.
Will you bring me a chicken sandwich? Is that a thing? Like, can they do one in the morning, or is that like an afternoon?
I don't know. We'll have to ask them. I bet if we're buying a couple dozen donuts, take to Audi Wilmington with us.
Continue.
Right.
Sorry.
So, and
Congregation at Audi Wilmington.
action back in.
Coffees.
So, congregation Audi Wilmington, and then in theory we have 2 planned drives that day. Like you can choose to go one of 2 directions from Audi Wilmington. Everybody will go to Wilmington in the morning, get coffee, have some of these wonderful donuts, and then
get your registration bag, check in.
Yeah, that'll all be at Audi Wilmington too. Okay, and then
no, I was just suggesting it.
So messed up. All right.
Are you gonna cut any of my sass, or is it just gonna be on 100?
I don't know. I don't. Here's the thing. It's a bit of a wrestling thing. The sass is endearing when it's not aimed at you, and then it's infuriating. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna cut the sass because it might be enjoyable to the audience at least.
Oh,
so
that's sweet.
Right. So you're going one of 2 different ways. The first way is a covered bridge tour. So I found, I think 11 covered bridges. I'm going to run this tomorrow. We'll hit 1 covered bridge in Delaware. That's kind of cool. And then the rest are in nearby kind of Chester County area. And that'll be ending at Valley Forge Military Park near King of Prussia. So all in, if you look at the website, I think the total mileage is like 131 miles. So you figure 20 miles from Philly down to Audi Wilmington. They will have some 50 kilowatt charges, I believe, on site. So if you want to top off, you can. There's also an Electrify America a little further south on 95 for people who really want to, get a fast charge and whatever. I don't think you'll need it. This should all be within range of most cars. I don't think we do have chargers at the hotel though, right?
Not at the hotel, but nearby the hotel. There is one south of the hotel. So that will be, I'll mark that on the map as well.
What I would suggest being in the city, and I'm going to be driving my e-tron for this part of the trip. So like, I would probably just top off my charge somewhere outside of the city and then head in from there. You should have enough to get to Audi Wilmington because it's one dealership and there may be several e-trons on this trip. I don't know. I know of at least 3 thus far that like, we may not all have the opportunity to charge up there. And so it's just worth kind of topping off. But from there, it's like, let's say 20 from Philly down to Wilmington, another 131 to do the full covered bridge tour. And then that's within range of really anybody who starts the day relatively full. And then 2 miles from the final bridge at King of Prussia Mall, there's an Electrify America station so they can pull charge. So.
Yep. And I know you found some really awesome lunch spots in Westchester. What is that really cool town you talked about? Because isn't that what you said? There was like a really cool town, or was this north? I can't remember what you decided on this, but like we talked about, there's this really cool town and there's a ton of like really like kind of boutique restaurants and people could just go their own way. Is that what you're thinking or no?
Kind of both. That was New Hope when we were thinking about doing the covered bridge tour up in Bucks County. Yeah. This is another town where there's several restaurants close by. The one I found was Farm to Table. So let's look into that and we'll confirm it if we know.
Okay.
Anyway, so we'll hit a bunch of other covered bridges and everywhere from like starting in Wilmington, moving around Chester County, ending up at Valley Forge. So if you want to, I'm going to estimate we're going to stop over halfway through, probably 2/3 into the bridges, and we'll stop in Westchester at some restaurants there. So like have a couple bridges after lunch, and then kind of mid-afternoon, you're going to be at Valley Forge, so you can hang out there. It's a very historic place, cool place to go.
But theoretically in Westchester, there might be some charging stations as well during lunch.
I didn't look at that.
Okay. That's fine.
But the reason I didn't look at it is because not all charging stations are created equally. And so like where I'm going is depending on which restaurant we slow down at, you're probably going to find like a level 2, but you're not going to pick up much mileage there. We should all have enough range to get through all of it. And then you get to Valley Forge and literally it's right around the corner is the Electrify America. So.
Well, there's actually none in Westchester. So that.
The idiot who chose Westchester clearly should have been thinking harder.
Okay. But there is one in King of Prussia, so
yeah, and it's legit EA. So like you're talking about like I think like 8 fast chargers, and everybody should have no problem with that.
Awesome.
And also, so you've got Valley Forge Military Park, which is where we'll end, and you can, if you're joining the tourist thing, it's cool to see. I've spent time there. It's a lot of cool stuff to see there. And then King of Prussia is like a kind of high-end mall, so like Gucci and whatever, like to that level. It's quite large. So if you go there to charge, you know, you can see that too. So that's
so what time do you expect? I mean, that we're leaving from Audi Wilmington at 9 a.m. So what time do you expect people to be done after, you know, the tour? You know, if your ending location is, you know, Valley Forge and the Prussia Mall.
probably like 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
Cool.
So
And then
it
people
gives you-
have kind of some free time to do what they want.
right. There's no race to get back. We have dinner plans in the city, but like, so if they want to hit KOP, King of Prussia, or if they want to hit Valley Forge or something else entirely in the area, they have time to get back into the city and kind of do their thing. The other thing is, like, we're going to give the address for all the bridges. So if you want to like kind of knock out early, or like after lunch, you just don't want to, you know, you've seen enough covered bridges and you just want to catch us back at the hotel. None of this is like, we kind of modeled this, or I was envisioning it at least, out of after Long Roof Rally that happens in the fall, which is kind of like, you know, on one hand, people are trying to stay together, but if you know, casually you want to go off and do other things, you know, you're not going to miss much. Right.
Yeah,
it's really
absolutely.
the experience you decide you want to have.
Yeah. And on the flip side of that, you know, me coming from Audi Club Georgia and the QDM side of things, like, I'm definitely prefer a little more structured. So you can get both experiences. If you're on the George side of the train and you want to just kind of derail and go off and do your thing, totally fine. But if you still want a leader, like, I am here for you, I will lead you back to the hotel no matter what. So you get the best of both worlds.
Which is great. I am bailing after Valley Forge, just so not look like legit. I'm going to be driving my e-tron that day. I'm going to jam over to King of Prussia, fast charge it up, and I got to get home because I live in kind of mid-state Pennsylvania, and my kids got prom that night. So like, I'm jamming home to like take her to drop her off at prom, and then I'm going to try and catch you guys at dinner in the city.
Is she gonna wear, this is so derailed, is she gonna wear the dress that she fit into that was Deanna's dress?
That is derailed. That was the other daughter. That was the younger one who was trying that one on. The older one doesn't fit in it.
Got it. Okay. Got it.
But yeah, she's,
when she goes to prom though, maybe she'll get a chance to wear it.
Who knows? Maybe yeah.
That'd be really cute. Yeah. I thought that was very touching. Sorry, just wanted to point that out.
Yeah.
Anyway, cool. Yeah, so you'll join us for dinner. And I guess I don't know if you want to talk about Longwood. I mean, Longwood's might be dead.
Yeah, let's talk about the other options just so people know. And look, we're leaving out of Wilmington on purpose. It's right across the Pennsylvania line. It's near Kennett Square, Pennsylvania, which is in Kennett Square, Pennsylvania, is this facility called Longwood Gardens, which is this amazing, if you're into horticulture, if you're into gardening, etc., it's a really truly expansive and amazing destination. I'm not even really into plants, but I've gone there with my family, and it's rad. Like, I really had a good time and saw amazing stuff I've never seen before. So we do have a second group planned to go to Longwood for the morning, like in the morning, and probably grab lunch. You can eat inside Longwood Gardens or in Kennett Square nearby. I guess we'll kind of determine that if anybody's going on that trip. Right now, I think everybody's registered to do the covered bridge drive. Yeah.
Yep. But we are, you know, if people still want to do Longwood, we've got, you know, several people that expressed interest in doing it. They chose to register for other segments. So if you are definitely interested in Longwood, like we'll still make that happen for those people that are interested in that one.
Yeah, I would say too, particularly if there's like in a couple, there's a spouse who's really into cars and a spouse who's really into horticulture, and another couple with the same setup, like maybe the two spouses into horticulture go to Longwood Gardens while the rest of us
absolutely. Whatever. Split the group. I love it. Everyone gets to enjoy what they want to enjoy.
Yeah. So anyway, that's probably all of 15 minutes from Audi Wilmington. And so you have the idea there's less time in the car and more time in the venue, because it's really, you'll want to spend time there walking around. And they actually have a couple level 2 chargers in the lot, so you can charge while you're parked there as well, should you want to.
Yep.
So those are the two options on Friday, day one. And then we get back to the city around dinner time, and we're going where for dinner?
So dinner will be at 6 o'clock. We have a private space up at Morgan's Pier, which is right over by Penn's Landing. So it's kind of not actually sure now. I'm thinking about it. Hold on a second. Let me just pull it up. I don't want to.
Penn's Landing is kind of a destination in Philly. It's like
No, I know. I meant more the venue. The way that. Okay, yeah. Okay. Hold on. Let me rewind that. Dinner is that evening, 6 o'clock, at a place called Morgan's Pier. It is right by Penn's Landing. It's on the ground level, so you've got a really great view of the bridge and everything that's kind of going on down there. We have the venue rent out from 6 to 9. After 9 o'clock, it opens to kind of general public. You have a couple options for that in particular, as far as getting there. It's a 40-minute walk, so 2 miles. So it's obviously a distance, but you obviously get to walk through downtown and see a lot of really cool stuff on your way there. And, you know, obviously burn all those extra calories for all the food you're going to eat. That's an option. As I mentioned, there is public transportation right outside the hotel. That's a 20-minute bus ride, tram, train, whatever it's going to be. I'll figure that out and I'll let everybody know. Alternatively, right next door is a enclosed parking garage that is $15 to park for the full day. So that's also an option if you would prefer just to drive your own car and get it there in one piece. So those are the three options for that place. But yeah, it's gorgeous. We're gonna have some great food, great drinks, and great views.
Or Uber it or cab, right? Like it's 2 miles.
Yeah, so or also Uber, cab. Yeah, take a bird. You know those scooters people are riding around now? You could just scoot. Probably a 20-minute scooter ride.
You could scoot. I bet it would be even faster if you don't get hit by a car. So
if you I could imagine it would be faster in an ambulance. Yeah, probably.
No, I mean, if you don't get hit by a car, it would be faster. If you get hit by a car, that's going to slow you down.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to get in the ambulance, that's a whole, don't get hit by a bus.
All right. Yeah, so dinner, and then, I don't know, we'll end up doing whatever afterwards, right? Like probably, if you want to go back to the hotel, you go back to the hotel. Someone will probably find a bar or something.
Yeah, I mean, you can linger, like I said, it's pretty close to everything. So yeah, if we want to linger in the area, whatever. There's really no plans after dinner though. So find some people that you liked and make some plans with them. But you know, there's always some mingling after the events anyway.
So Saturday, the main event for that we're kind of going to be focused on is Radwood Philly, which is, if you don't know, is an 80s, 90s era car show. And so a lot of people dress the part in their 80s gear and their 90s gear, if that's what does it for you. We're going to have, can I back up quick? Because front and center at Radwood for us is when we're going to be there with Audi collection and whatever. We're going to have our sweepstakes Quattro on display there, as well as the Cannonball Run 4000 that Bill Cho our colleague just did with Ed from VinWiki and Josh from Nothing Leaves Stock. They just did one lap of America in that car, and it's Ed Bullion has taken it on like Cannonball Run or running across America, and not particularly fast, but they did that too. So that's a neat car, very 80s, and so Josh is kind enough to bring that out as well. The sweepstakes car though will be around all weekend. So I neglected to say it will also be at Audi Wilmington on Friday. So should you even not be on our event, but you're kind of swinging through Wilmington or whatever, and you want to see the car in person, it's going to be in the showroom at Audi Wilmington for the cars and donuts or whatever, the coffee and donuts in the morning.
Quattro
and then,
donuts.
Yeah.
I mean, you just named it, but whatever.
And then it'll be at Radwood. And then, so Radwood, if you don't want to do, particularly, I don't know, maybe you're an e-tron owner, you don't really care about 80s, 90s cars, and you'd rather do other things. The other idea around Saturday is if you don't want to do the car show, which by the way is Subaru Field, where whatever the Philadelphia Union
Subaru Park. Yep, it's about 30 minutes from the host hotel south, heading back towards Wilmington on 95.
Right, I forget which, Commodore Barry Bridge, I think it's right near, and I don't know, it's a soccer field, or I'm sure they have a lot of parking, which is why it's there. And I think Subaru is a sponsor of that event.
Yep.
So, but if you don't want to do that, then you can choose to do stuff around Philly on Saturday. And we've created like a ton of on the website. There are a bunch of attractions you might want to consider doing. So whether that's individual things, like, you know, you want to go down to Independence Hall and the Liberty Bell or the art museum where Rocky ran up the stairs, see the art or whatever, you could do that kind of stuff. But we also did a couple with like some destinations you should look at in either, if you're going downtown Philly, if you want to go to the main line in Montgomery County, which is like the main train line. There are a lot of really cool small towns along there and things to see. And then northwest of Bucks County along the Delaware River. We're seeing like just a ton of things to do, whether that's like street fairs inside Philly, whether it's, I think the town of New Hope up along the river in Bucks County is having a Pride festival. There's a ton
of stuff,
whatever,
and you can, I'll check out the blog and see kind of all of those, but things you can drive to, things you can walk to, all of them, all the above.
Yes. Also a couple of, there's another bridge tour. If you haven't seen enough bridges, there's a whole other county of bridge tour that like we decided not to do because it was in a different county. But like if covered bridges are your thing and you didn't get enough of them the first day, you can do a second day. Yeah. You could cover the covered bridges twice. You have them covered. You know what I'm saying? She hates the dad jokes. She totally hates the dad jokes.
It's so bad. I mean, you've had some really good ones. That one was pretty bad.
So that's Saturday. And I think we have dinner plans on Saturday evening.
Yep, Saturday evening, we have rented out a place that is 0.5 miles from the host hotel. So probably a 5 to 10 minute walk if you would rather just walk to the hotel or walk to the restaurant. It is called Brew, Craft, and Wurst, but there's also a place attached to it called U-Bahn. And U-Bahn is where the event's actually going to be hosted. It's going to be catered by Brew, though. And Brew is a German pub. So they've got all kinds of German fare, German beers. So yeah, so we're going to be catering some awesome food. And I'm going to do kind of a little bit of hodgepodge. I know German food can be kind of heavy. So there'll be a mix a little bit for everybody. So don't be too concerned about that. But yeah, we'll be hosting there that evening. And that also is a place that after 9 p.m. It opens to the public. So, you know, we're there, I think, from 6 to 9.
I've heard good things about Brew. So
awesome. It looks really cool. I love the atmosphere. What I really like is they've got these. So there's a place in Atlanta that you basically get a little key card and then you go up to the taps and you can pour yourself your own beer, and then it just charges you according to how much you actually pour yourself. It looks like Brew has something similar where you can go and actually unlock the taps and that way you can kind of mix whatever you're kind of feeling. You don't have to commit to an entire beer. You can just try something, little samples here and there, which is really cool. I think is an awesome way to do it.
It's a neat hook.
Yeah.
There was a place here. I kind of miss it. It's out of business now. It's called the Gas Station. And they were like a gastropub, and they had
gas station.
Yeah, the gas station was a gastropub. No, they didn't have a gas station. It was actually an old car dealership. Was kind of the theme, right? And it was a gastropub, and then they had at your tables. I didn't even get to the cool part yet. You're already laughing at me.
Because you're just like whatever.
You know how like when you go to fill your gas, right? There's this metering based on volume of how much you've pumped. Well, like It was the same way with beer taps at your table. So like you'd have these multiple beer taps at your table, and you would and it would meter how much you
bet you're drinking. Oh, that's actually really cool. I like that. Also, for the record, the best places to eat are either attached to a gas station, in a crumbling building. Like the hole in the wall spots are always the best. So I am no shade on a place called Gas Station. I think that is awesome.
Totally. I noticed that that doesn't include chicken out, but
doesn't include what?
What's the chicken place you like?
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A. That's it. Chick-fil-A. That's what I said. Totally what I said.
No, Chick-fil-A is on a whole nother level. It's on a whole other spectrum.
Sure.
I'm an equal opportunity foodie. That's what I mean. I mean that I'm going to eat sweet at your establishment if it's super nice. I'm also going to eat at your establishment if it's really dingy and terrible. As long as your food health rating is like over 80, I'm good.
You need to get the unofficial Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives app.
This is really terrible. I actually really don't like that guy. What is his name?
It's okay. You don't need to like him. I don't really like him either. Guy Fieri.
That's him. Drives me crazy. Absolutely crazy.
I heard he's good with like charities and stuff. So like, I'm not here to judge.
I think he's a good person.
The shtick and the hair. I'm not really
the hair.
The power, whatever. It's shtick.
Too much. Yeah.
But genuinely, the restaurants he goes to are interesting, hole in the wall, one-off places.
Yeah.
And so the app, if you have it and you're traveling, and I've done this, like Bill and I going to Sebring, like diverted to like somewhere in, I think, St. Simon's Island, Georgia. We found this like Southern Soul barbecue place, which is amazing. Found a great fish taco place in Charlotte, just driving through, like, but you got to have the app, and it's unofficial. Guy didn't do an app. So.
Got it. Someone's just making the app for him.
Yeah.
Well, you do know
now they're gonna get their asses sued because guys can be watching this podcast. Sorry.
Yeah, and he knows. Yeah. Well, first of all, really sorry. I know you're a charitable, loving individual. I mean, no shade. Your personality is obnoxious.
You're talking to Guy, not me, right?
Yeah, I'm talking to Guy. Yeah. Okay. I wink.
Is that what that was?
That was to the audience.
I thought something was in your eye.
Anyway, so that's dinner though. Not on Diners, Drives, and Drive-ins, drive placing. So whatever the heck it's called. So yeah,
Brew
dinner.
And then Sunday.
Sunday's a really fun day. Sunday fun day. We have actually rented out Simeone Auto Museum, both their entire parking lot as well as their indoor space. And we're going to be hosting a car show there. And that is actually free for everybody to attend. If you're registered for the show, however, you get premium parking placement. You get entry into the museum, And obviously, you get everything else that comes with it. But if you're just coming to hang out for the weekend, or you just want to, kind of swing by, it's fully open. We're going to have kind of like a further area parking back, which is going to be first come, first serve. You can kind of join us at, and then we'll have a food truck on site that you can pay to eat at. And then obviously we'll also have entry to the museum if you want to just, spend the money to enter the museum yourself. But yeah, that one's going to be super awesome. We've got a ton of vendors coming out, and people and awesome cars.
And Simeon, if you don't know it, it's like there's like a couple great automotive museums in the United States, and Simeon is one of them. They've got a bunch of old Le Mans cars. They do some really great programming. Obviously not, obviously the museum will be open that day, and you'll get to see the whole collection. But if you're in the Philly area or regionally, I've actually thought about joining up with these anyway. They do like photo clinics where they'll run cars on certain days, and you have these photo seminars. You can go in and learn like panning and just different. Cool. If you like shooting cars, I don't know. I just think it's really unique, the programming they do. And I have a lot of love for Simeon. So I think it's pretty cool that they're doing it.
Yeah. Awesome.
And that we're there.
And they've been really awesome with us. So we're very excited to take over their parking lot and show some Audi love.
So if you're in the Philly area, even if you're not taking part in Vintage Voltage, shame on you. But if you're not, come out to our Cars and Coffee-ish event on Sunday and hang.
Should we rename it? I was trying to get coffee. I really was. But I couldn't get any coffee trucks.
Are we still in the podcast at this point? Or
I don't know. That's up to you. You're the editor. I'm not going to tell you how to
live. The editor in me says, so we need to work on coffee. I think coffee, to have a Cars and Coffee.
I know. Well, I asked the guy, I asked Walking Taco if he would provide anything, and he never responded to me. So I'm going to send him another message and say, hey,
we like married to Walking Taco?
Well, here's the problem, right? Like, if you're trying to get a food truck to come out, like they have to know they have a guaranteed minimum, you know what I mean? Like they need to know that it's worth their while. And I don't know. I mean, if you can find something else, that's fine. We can do both.
What if we even just went and got like boxed coffee from?
And that's fine. You can put it in our booth for all I care. I really don't care, but
we need coffee.
I think we do too. Or we need to change the name. But I don't want it to be Quattros and Tacos, because there's already a Quattros and Tacos literally in New Jersey. And I'm like, I'm not stealing.
That's actually this coming weekend. So shout out to them. Because this will publish before they have their event. I think so this coming weekend is like Carlisle, Import National. So we'll be there as well with the sweepstakes car if you're planning on going. Talia won't be there, but I'll be there. So
the cool people.
Right. And but like that's Friday, Saturday of this coming weekend, and Sunday of this coming weekend is Quattros and Tacos at Paul Miller Audi in New Jersey.
And Quattros,
we're not affiliated, but
yep. And he means cool. This Sunday, the 15th, May 15th.
Yes.
So that is that event.
So Paul Miller Audi, go check that out, I guess. But like, I guess we can't call it Quattros and Tacos, but maybe there's something else we can.
Yeah, or you just get coffee and we're good. Yeah. And by the way, just point of order. Definitely edit out you saying, "Are we married to Walking Taco?" Because I don't want him to listen to that and be like, "What a bunch of assholes." just snip that out for me.
Just kind of like seeing Walking Taco, but not married to them. Like casual. It's not you, it's me.
We're trying to figure it out,
Yeah. It's not you, Walking Taco. It's me. I just want to see other food trucks. See what I mean?
Oh God, that one was pretty good though.
Was it?
Yeah, like in a really.
It wasn't really a dad joke. It was just humor.
Yeah, it was just good old fashioned humor.
But can we even put that in the podcast then? Because Walking Taco, who I'm sure is amazing.
Yeah, I mean their menu
could be offended.
Delicious. I mean, it's up to you. You're the editor. But also you being like, are we married to them? Let's get both. If you can edit it in a way where we can talk about the name, but then not bag on Walking Taco, then
I wasn't bagging on Walking Taco. I was just saying, are we like, because like if it's coffee or tacos for Cars and Coffee, I gotta go coffee.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not married either way. I'm good with whatever you want to do. Here's the other question: is like Federal Donuts? Do they?
I don't know, but we should check because Federal Donuts looks like it kicks ass.
Yeah, well, we're not going to do donuts. So I don't want to do donuts and tacos.
I wonder if like
what?
There's like a coffee company that's a Philly institution as well, and I wonder if we could like get coffee from La Colombe.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm fine with whatever.
Because here's what I'm thinking: There's a, by the way, there's a La Colombe, which La Colombe coffee is fantastic, and they're a Philly thing. So like, what if they don't bring a thing, but we just bring boxed coffee?
We can also do that. That's totally fine.
Like, I'd rather, if we could show up with like La Colombe boxed coffee versus like Dunkin' Donuts, I would.
Okay, let's get back on track. If you want to touch on registration, we kind of did.
All right, so how do you register, Talia?
So our registration is live on motorsportreg.com. If you go on there, you can search for VintageToVoltage or the Audi Club North America name. You should be able to find us. Alternatively, go to our website, go to our Facebook page. We've been posting that link all over the place for you guys to sign up. But yeah, once you go through there, go through the registration process, get your car in, pick out your event segments, let us know if you have any dietary restrictions, or if you're just interested in volunteering and helping us out with the show. And that's all you got to do.
Cool. It's in the link, by the way, to the that's like asking you who you are at the beginning where I already knew the answer. But like but it's also in the link, the blog post I was showing earlier in the podcast where it's the Pennsylvania State logo on the front of AudiClubNA.org.
Yep.
Links in there.
Boom. And I'm sure it will also be in the body of the podcast link. So if you are reading this podcast, you could probably click it right there in the bio.
That was totally in the plan too already. So I don't know why you would even bring that up.
How would you assume?
Just weird that you would even think I would not do that. So
I would never think anything of the slightest.
Strange.
Yeah.
All right. So really quick before because that's pretty much, I think, everything we need to cover on this. But you were just in Germany. Want to tell us about that quick?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. So in 2020, we had to cancel one of these awesome experiences we do every year called Dolce Vita. Essentially, the trip is you come in with 19 other people, and you guys are riding around in 10 R8s together, and you go from Germany all the way to Austria and Italy, and you stay at 5-star resorts, awesome food, great views, really cool things to do. You get to do a lot of exploring in all these places. And obviously, like I said, you get to do it in an R8. So for the first time since 2019, we finally kicked off that event again. It was very hectic, just trying to get everything buttoned down and together. You know, it's a new team here on our side. It's a new team on the Audi side. And obviously it's new protocol, new restrictions. I mean, I had to go through with each person individually and go, okay, you need to have this when you get to this border, and this is going to check for this. So it was quite a lot. So I flew out there last week, was there for a whopping 2 days. But yeah, that event kicked off, and it's awesome. They get to ride around in V10 performance convertible R8s, which is awesome. So they had the
didn't you say e-tron GT, or is that?
So this year we only had the R8s. It was 10 R8s, a mix between I think 5 Vegas yellow and 5 Kimura grays. There were 15 in the parking deck. Not that I counted, but you know, there was a ton of cars there. Also a red RS4 Avant. So that's cool. And a red Mark 1 TT. And then my Opel, which was just really fit right in. But anyway, so this year we only did 10 R8s, but next year and in future years, we're going to look at doing kind of a mix between R8s and RS e-tron GTs. So the big issue they're running into is just infrastructure on charging. Obviously that's still something that's growing and they don't quite have completely put together yet. So you won't see a full 10 car RS e-tron GT tour anytime soon, but definitely a mix of the two.
Half and half.
Yep,
Yeah.
but half and half. And then that way what you do is we do it for 4 days. So you get 2 days in an RS e-tron and 2 days in an R8. So you kind of get a little bit of the best of both worlds with that. Now, obviously, yeah, and we'll have multiple different, tour groupings throughout the year. This year we did 3 because one person actually wanted to book out an entire tour themselves. So that's totally an option too. If you've got 20 friends and you guys are ready to lock yourselves in, we will customize a tour. Dates are obviously still up to Audi driving experience, since they are the ones scheduling all this. But otherwise, I mean, we can build it around, a time of year that you prefer, and try to figure out how to make it work best for you. But for those of you that obviously are, not quite ready for the e-tron future, we will still do tours that are only R8. So you guys don't have to worry if you are not ready to do that and you just want to be in the R8 tour. We can book those tours that are only the R8 still. So
if you identify as internal combustion only, that's okay. we can accommodate.
Support you.
Can't accommodate a full electric wave yet, but but still, and also we're getting back to
Seafeld?
winter driving. Yeah.
Yep, very excited. I got that secured. Don't have dates quite yet because the Audi driving experience doesn't have cars yet. And that was really a big holdup for them just even last year, was trying to get vehicles with the chip shortage is become a little bit difficult for everybody, not just us consumers. So Seafeld, I should know dates in the next couple of months here, and then we can go ahead and start getting that locked in. That is also about a 20-person group. I didn't actually get a final number because again, it's going to depend on how many cars are actually available. So, but those are so much fun. As someone who's personally done Seafeld, you stay in this gorgeous hotel called the Interpolen, and it's like a big circle, and they've got a heated pool. And so when it snows, you can be in the pool in the snow, and then obviously going down to the whole driving experiences. It's really incredible. It is for those people that are thinking like, I would rather just go off on my own and drive on my own. Like, the winter driving stuff is absolutely a blast. You get to learn a lot of really cool maneuvers. And obviously, being out on the ice and really beautiful cars is, can't go wrong with that. Yeah.
So
I was gonna say, and maybe next year, unconfirmed, we'll figure out what it looks like for Audi, but we might also open up other countries as well. One in particular that is really hot on our list is going to be Finland. So keep an eye on that.
Which is a bigger facility, if I've heard
Yep.
correctly.
And it's actually entirely, so Seafeld is on it's kind of in a valley off of the main highway. So it's terrain, it's just snow covered terrain. Whereas Finland is actually 2 frozen lakes, and that will be 20 cars and 20 cars on 2 separate lakes. So that's really cool.
Very exciting. So
yeah.
Where I was going to go was, so the event you just did, the Dolce Vita tour, or it could be, Nitron in the future, or Seafeld, both of those you fly into Munich. So you're close enough to Audi AG, their home base in Ingolstadt, that like you're able to, typically we're able to like get the group to Ingolstadt for some sort of, or Audi Sport in Neuburg, same thing. Pretty close by. Yeah, you did both this time around.
Yeah. So what we'll do at the start of your tours, like you said, you fly into Munich, so you have some free time if you want to. When I did it, I flew in a couple days early and got to kind of explore and see things around. So entirely up to you on the start of your tour. But when you join us for the first official day, we take the group up to Ingolstadt. Is it okay? Hold on a second. Just go ahead and correct.
Are we gonna go through the schooling? Ingolstadt.
Stop.
Like a stop sign.
Okay. No. But no P.
T at the end. No P.
Okay.
It's STADT.
So I'm pronouncing it like STAT though. Stat. Okay, cool. We'll start your tour off. The first official day we start your tour off, we take the group up to Ingolstadt. We'll do, now in previous years, they did factory tours. Since COVID, they haven't fully reopened that yet. They're just now reopening them for Monday through Friday tours only though. And this group, we came in on a Saturday, so unfortunately didn't get to do that, but we did get to do the museum mobile, which is really cool. It's about a 3 or 4 story building, and each level is a different part of time for Audi. So you can kind of get to see, and not just Audi, but all of the brands, Wander, DK. So you get to kind of see a really cool collection. I saw like the first e-bike essentially made by Wander. Yeah, it was really cool. So a ton of history in that building. And then obviously they have the big conveyor belt that rotates through all like the DTM cars and the rally cars, and just a really cool collection of stuff. What's really cool in particular for this one that we just did though, is Audi Tradition actually partners with a couple local car clubs, and one of them is an RS club. And so on Saturday they had what they called, and I'm sure in German it was something entirely different, but we were told it was an RS gathering. And so it was probably about 30 or 40 owners and their RS cars. So got to see everything from RS6 Avant, RS4, RSQ3, and everything in between. I mean, even just, S2s and awesome stuff like that. So that was really cool.
I was looking at your Instagram feed from some of those photos, and like the car, I don't know if you remember during I think this before you came on at Audi Club, I think you were still at APR at the time, but like we were doing these kind of live broadcasts on Zoom as well, but to like Facebook and stuff live. And it was like a kind of find of the day. Weren't you on one of these, I think?
No, I think I missed it. I was supposed to be on it and then I missed it.
That's right. We did have your book. But anyway, the first one we ever did where we would like kind of throw down like cars we found for sale. Like there were like 3 different categories, and you would choose like which car was the coolest, and you could look wherever. Well, the first week we did it, and the first time we won was one of the, like, it was like a burgundy kind of purplish S2 with big like D8 or sorry D2 S8 Avis wheels on it. Really cool car. I don't know who you are who bought that car, but it's rad. So
Very
lucky
cool.
you.
Yeah. And what's funny is so like if you've been, obviously the main, when you come into the bus stop, you kind of get to see all of Audi, and the factories on the left, and then the mobile, and then like the delivery center and the gift shop are on the right.
Yeah, so this is like they call it the Piazza, but it's the Audi Forum Ingolstadt is like you see this big cylindrical building, which is Museum Mobile. And when you pull in, there's like a bus stop there. To the left, there's like parking, and then a parking garage down below. Yep. Office buildings all around. Yep. Back corner is like delivery center with the Audi collection store.
Yep.
A couple restaurants, a kind of move and pick, and like a higher end restaurant as well, and then the museum and the museum shop. So like,
but all of that in between is just like an open kind of cobblestone lot. Yeah, Piazza Sun.
Yeah, the Germans like the Italian stuff. Quattros, right?
I will say too, speaking of Germans liking Audi stuff, one of the guys, David Sarabi with Eurocode out in LA, he and I known him for quite some time, and he used to live in Germany, and so picked up a lot of German while he was there. He was really helpful, when we went to restaurants, and definitely got the best food thanks to him. And one of the things that I caught on to is that instead of saying, however you would say goodbye in German, they actually say ciao.
Ciao.
So yeah. that is just thought was so bizarre. I was like, huh. But anyway, but yeah, so that main piazza was filled with all really cool cars. And then over in the parking lot that you're talking about, that's almost like completely forgotten about. I mean, you could tell there's a lot of cool cars there, a lot of employee cars, but I saw what caught my eye was a couple like, and I don't know what the color is, but it's like a neon green. I don't know if it was Kailami, honestly. I didn't think Kailami was that electric. Like it was an electric green.
It's like legit. Hold on.
Okay, maybe it is. I don't know. I've never seen Kailami in person. I didn't think it was electric green, but it was like two electric green Audis. I can't remember what they were anymore. I didn't think one was an RS7, but anyway, and that's where that S2 was, is he was just hidden in the parking lot among all the other, employee cars. There was even a rally car that someone had now it wasn't a real rally car, but they had turned it into one with all the stickers and the livery. It was pretty cool. It was an awesome collection of cars out there and people. So, and scene.
Is that?
Maybe it was. Man, I didn't realize it was that green.
Yeah.
And now, as I'm saying this, I feel bad because one of my Audi Club Georgia board members, Liam, he has a that electric green TTRS, and now I feel bad because I'm like, oh yeah, maybe it is Kailami. Sorry, Liam.
Probably was. Yeah, right. So the other secret stuff to do. So on that day, you're on a Saturday and the car show is going on. Normally during the week, if you go there on a weekday, if you take delivery of your Audi, a lot of people do, the delivery center there back by the Audi collection store. They may do that on Saturdays too, but you literally drive out and you can park and then go check out the Audi Forum, take your tour or whatever. But you get this sort of like preferential parking on the Piazza. Say that three times fast, and don't spit on your mic. But so you get to do that. And the other kind of secrets are like, as you drive in the back left corner, so like across from the delivery center, it's just an office building. But I believe that's like A50, which is like, that's where like the big dot, like the board offices tend to be. So like if somebody's driving something weirdo or just out or whatever, like that, like it's now beyond, you're out of secrecy on the car. So like, or end of secrecy has gone past, the car's seen. Some of the first times you'll see cars parked are usually there, like, or like prototypes are, I would see like R8 e-trons parked there back when they had R8 e-trons floating around and like whatever. Did you go into the parking garage by any chance?
I didn't go into the parking garage, unfortunately, but I did creep into. I did creep into the offices building you were talking about, and the whole showroom was a bunch of really cool cars too.
Oh, right, the showroom.
Yeah,
totally forgot the showroom.
Yeah, they've got a ton of stuff in there. I was being rushed, so unfortunately I didn't get to stay too long, but I did see an RS3 e-tron, some cool stuff.
That's cool. So A50 is like the next building past the showroom.
Got it. Okay. No, there was security. They were like, calm down, leave. You need to leave.
No, you can't get into A50. Yeah, they're probably a cease and desist on me for A50, but like parked in front of it is all I'm saying. Like it's just a casual thing. Yeah, always look there, because if one of the big dogs is in the Piazza, they will park there, and because they like to show off, they have a cool new thing.
Yeah.
new hotness, and it's there.
Yeah, I got to show off. It's a show off lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I like it.
Me too.
Yeah. So it was pretty
I'm
cool.
jealous. You got to go.
Well, I mean, it was cool. But what I'm jealous of is that after my awesome conversations with the Audi driving experience team, we have secured for the October tours the
Which
vault.
is sold out.
Yeah, which is sold out. Apologies that I'm even telling people this, but hopefully knowing that this is something we've got, I'd like to see this continue and become kind of a staple of our tour with them. So know that if you're on the wait list and this is something you're excited about doing, that there's a slim possibility that we'll be able to get you into this, but George will get to experience that in October when he goes and liaisons for the next group.
So that's what you're talking about is the Audi Tradition Warehouse that's like down. It's probably about a mile, if that, from the Audi Forum Ingolstadt, and that's where that stuff's not on display. To get in there, it's a private tour, and that's literally their offices, right, and where they store the cars. So it's not really like
no cameras, very secret, very kind of secret.
But really, really neat, and that's if you can look it up on. Sorry, if you look it up on YouTube, you'll find. Like Brian Scotto, I think, has a video on Hoonigan where they toured it, and so you can kind of see the place. The other thing I'd love to see us do, and I'm sure we will, just depending on how time frame plays out, is like maybe try and get some people to the Audi Forum Neckarsulm too. That's Audi's other factory. It's over closer to Stuttgart. So if you're like in the Munich or Ingolstadt area, you can do like, if you want to go off the reservation, you can also go see BMW Welt down in Munich, or you can go over to towards like Neckarsulm and Stuttgart and see like the Audi Forum Neckarsulm and Mercedes Museum and the Porsche Museum in Stuttgart. But like the Audi Forum Neckarsulm has like a bigger showroom, the Audi exclusive showroom, which is rad because they always put like super weirdo stuff in that showroom, and another Audi collection store, a little museum on the third floor, or whatever. It's cool. It's nerdy.
Yeah,
I'm into it.
We're all about nerdy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for being nerdy too. I appreciate that.
Of course. I mean, I didn't choose the nerd life. The nerd life chose me.
Damn. On that note, I think we went like an hour and a half. So
yeah, I mean, what whether or not
what else is there to
over
say?
45 minutes of actual content is another question.
Well, yes.
But thanks for having me, George. This was great.
Hey, Talia, great. I don't know when we'll see you again because like whatever, life's busy, but
just got so much going on.
No, we'll see you actually at VintageToVoltage.
Oh my gosh, I didn't think about that. Yeah. If you guys have never met me and would like to get a sample of how energetic and crazy I am, or just like pick my brain about things you might want to do at your chapter, come meet me. I'll be there. So will Leanne Copris. She's new on our team and heading up all of the sponsorship or the dealer sponsorship as well as chapter strategy stuff. So if you definitely have any chapter things you'd like to talk about, she's gonna be there for that. Obviously, Bill and George. So the whole team will be there. It'll be awesome.
Bill will be there. It'll be. I'm excited about it. Also, federal effing donuts.
Okay, Sushi Dozo. That's what we're doing on Thursday night. I just want you to know.
Sushi Dozo.
I got to make sure they're not closed actually, because I haven't been there in years. Sushi Dozo. It is the best. Oh, thank God they're open. Okay, awesome. On Thursdays, they're from 3:30 to 8:30. So yeah, we'll go and have early dinner there. Oh, George, it is so fucking good. I can't even see straight. It is the best like sushi place I've ever been to. Like hands down. Turn me on to oysters, unagi, umami. I mean, literally everything. Nigiri, all of them, everything he does. He used to have a really big place in downtown Philly, and then he's like, it got too big, I couldn't control the quality anymore, so I sold that place. This restaurant is BYOB, and it literally seats like maybe 20 people. Like it is it's outside, it's in New Jersey, like right over the bridge.
Jersey.
I know no one likes New Jersey, but it is so good. I have to go eat there again. Like I dream about the oysters. I like the oysters there so much that I have been trying to find somebody local in Atlanta that can do the oysters as good as Sushi Dozo does. And I haven't found it. Have not found it. So.
Do they have oysters in Atlanta? Like good local oysters? I mean,
they do, but like not the way he gets like Kumamoto, like traditional Japanese oysters, and he's got like a little sauce that he puts on top. Like, I could just eat the oysters. Like I could just literally gorge myself on his oysters. They're so good.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's so good. So we're eating there. I know it's New Jersey, but like whatever. We'll load up in a car and we'll go.
We might have made a change of plans, but
Well, guess what? I will be going by myself then. I'm gonna get myself a bottle of sake and I will go down there and enjoy my dinner.
oh my gosh, my friend Bob has this sake that's got like it's I don't know whatever brand of sake it's sold in Japan. It's got a dead snake in it.
Ugh. Yeah.
I will send you. I think I took a picture of it. He brought it out to like Bob's a friend of mine who meets me coffee in the morning, and like he brought it out to Starbucks one morning, and it was amazing to have this like on the table in Starbucks.
That's awesome.
I didn't drink any.
Yeah, at 9 a.m. That sounds really good.
Well, it wasn't that. It was more like it looked like a snake in formaldehyde in your biology class or whatever. Yeah. And I was like, a rotting snake.
Does he take in swigs from the bottle? Or is he pouring it for himself? Because I feel like that's one of those things you like accidentally go to tip it back and a snake runs down your throat.
He's a sake enthusiast. I am not. And so I don't get the sense that like I would probably be wasted on me anyway. You know what I mean? Like just give me. Yeah. You could give me the worst ever.
Yeah. I'm not gonna care either way. Oh. Yeah. I'm not really an enthusiast like that either. So I'm with you.
It sounded like you were really into it though. Like the whole
I'm super into sushi dozo.
Yeah.
I mean, I love snakes too. Snakes are super cool.
But not dead ones.
Not ones that I can accidentally drink. Like, no, don't get me the tequila with the whatever. What do they do with tequila bottles? They do something to tequila too.
Oh, with isn't it like an insect? Oh,
yeah, I thought it was an insect.
It's a worm.
It's a worm. That's right. Yeah, disgusting. So anyway, I mean, you guys don't have to go to sushi dozo with me, but that's what I'm doing. So
we'll go to sushi dozo with you.
Yes.
If it only has room for 20 people, though, and we're gonna have like 4 right there.
I'm putting it on the run of show.
So are you taking the e-tron GT or the Sportback?
I told Leanne we could share. I'm gonna start in the GT, and then she can take the Sportback, and then we'll swap. What's your plan? Are you gonna bring the e-tron, or are you gonna bring the RS6?
I'm bringing the e-tron Thursday, and after the Friday trip, I'm gonna cruise home. There's not enough juice to get there and back, right? So I'm gonna go home, throw it on the charger, so Deanna has enough juice to go pick up Mina after prom, and then I'm jumping the R6, take Mina to prom, and come back in the city. So, and then rest of the weekend in the R6.
Cool, love it.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.